go.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. Might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight. Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still
Hello. The Tasmanian government wishes to inform you that the Juice Media's latest Honest Government ad, which calls out our bullshit ahead of the coming election, has been removed from this platform because it showed a photo of our Premier, a crime that carries a penalty of up to 1 year imprisonment under our Electoral Act. Sure, this violates our Constitution's implied freedom of political communication, and sure, we're weaponising our Electoral Act to silence our critics, but thankfully our Electoral Commission doesn't have a choice but to follow our shit laws. So they sent the Juice Media an email ordering them to take down the video. In what we regard as a clear victory for the free speech, we're pleased to introduce this rectified version of the Juice Media's Honest Government ad, which has been edited to comply with the Act by replacing the illegal photo of our Premier with one that is approved under Tasmanian law. You may now enjoy the video safely and legally under the watchful eye of our glorious Supreme Leader of the People's Democratic Republic of Tasmania, who will remain here throughout to ensure it doesn't breach any other authoritarian laws.
Jimmy on a beat, boy.
Okay, boomer, whatever you say, boomer. 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 B-O-O-M-E-R, please, your dusty mood don't vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur. Hey. Okay, boomer, whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okie dokie, boomer.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? I hope you
Yeah,
can hear
I-
us. We need to do a sound check, everybody.
Yeah, you're really hot. You're really loud.
I'm
In
really
my
loud.
ears, anyways. In my ears.
It's not going out on the stream loud. Let's try this. Okay, Chanda, say something to the crowd.
Mic check. Hopefully I'm pegging out on my mic, so hopefully I'm not that loud. These new studios, thanks for joining us. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work on studio work because, of course, we upgraded. We moved into VMix Studio. And I'm officially moved over. I moved the trailer park. It was an ordeal. And 3 shows in a row, back to back this week. Oz was right there trying to help me get those scheduled and launched and programmed. And we did have some hiccups on Friday. Apparently, if you were on an Apple or a Mac device, you couldn't hear the clip sound. Now that has something to do with Google, so we're gonna have to bring another port in apparently and run the deck different. So those of our friends on Apple can hear the show, but we actually did launch on Friday, so that's a plus, right?
No, you had a great show. I enjoyed the hell out of the show.
Or Thursday, it was Thursday. This
Thursday.
week I haven't had a day off in so long I don't even know what day it is anymore.
No, we'll get it. We'll get it. Audio is Satan, like it is tonight, and
Deborah goes back saying it sounds good. So
oh, good.
good.
So we're good. We're good. And you're bouncing where you need to bounce now, so that's good.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. I hope everybody noticed that Chanda and I's avatar got to dance with Okie Dokie Boomer Girl tonight.
Did you see it? Did you guys see it? Our avatars are dancing with Okie Dokie Girl now. You guys do amazing work. Of course, that's all you guys. That's you, Linda, and Arim working hard, right?
Yeah, we're having fun doing
Beautiful.
it too. I got to say, AI is exploding this week. AI graphics and the video engineering with AI. You guys are going to see some crazy stuff in the next few weeks, if not few months. It's really taken off quite a bit. So we're going to reflect
They're
those.
telling us.
Yeah, we're going to reflect those in our magic thumbnails. That's going to be our test ground. So these thumbnails where we open the show with, we're going to practice what we're learning in there, and hopefully you guys will like the stuff. And I've got to say something about AI. It's just going to make our skill set better and easier. It's not going to take over the world yet, but the potential's there, so keep it in mind. I want to shout out the chat so we can get this thing going. Rad Angel is in the house, and Popeye, Mastermind Hour. Good to see you, Mastermind Hour. I don't know if you guys had a show last night or not with Eric, Mastermind Hour. Jax is in the house. Jax, please keep sharing the food porn and the drink porn. It looks so good. I was just telling Chanda in the green room, I don't get Mexican food here at all because it's a little bit too salty and my wife's kind of allergic to it, so I don't eat it. Chanda said she's excellent at making Mexican food, so maybe one of these days we can con her into coming down here and cooking us some Mexican food. We've got, let me see, we got Midnight Karma's in the house. Hey, Bad Cookies, what is going on? Becca C, good to see you. Anthony, what's going on, Anthony? Rick Solis, Dino Panteclocas. Ben, good evening from New York. I butchered your name. I apologize. DC, good to see you, DC. Kate Kamshwari, Kate is in the house. Thank you for the nice little note. Kate sent me a nice little email. Thank you, email, for Joey's
She sent
coffee.
me mail. I'm going to have to start doing a mail call because
Yeah,
twice
let's
this
do
week I
mail.
got mail. Let's see. I got a beautiful Popeye pie from Popeye. Thank you,
Yeah.
Popeye. We've talked about it. I've shared the pictures. But Kate sent me a wonderful, sweet letter. And the Jimmy Dore, the Wandering Jimmy Dore autograph is back. So we're going to give it out. Like, we're
Hey,
going to
that's
see
a
how
good
many
idea.
people can possess the Jimmy Dore autograph. Anyways,
No,
we
that's
love mail.
that's-
And we've been
that's
getting a lot of mail.
That's a great idea. I'm all for it. I like snail mail. It's one of the old things. Well,
yeah,
of course.
I know you are.
Yeah, it's one of the old things that we can.
It makes me happy when I open my mailbox and there's something from you or from you guys. Like, yay!
Yeah,
makes me
it
do
does.
so.
I think we should bring back that old tradition if you can afford it. I think, what's the postage stamp now? $10? Kind of like the same price
you
as
know
pickles?
what? I just buy forever stamps, so I don't know. I never, I just give me a book of forever stamps or a sheet of forever stamps. So I don't know what they are, but I always buy forever stamps because those fuckers kept raising the prices on me, and I kept having dead stamps in the drawer. I still have stamps. Like if I bunched them together, like I don't know what are these, like 2 cents, 10 cents, whatever a postcard stamp used to be, right?
God, we are doing boomer stuff, stamp collecting and showing
know.
our stamps on there. I've got, I just bought some stamps that the USPS had last week. The Cool Dragon way cool dragon stuff.
Nice.
So,
Well, is it
yeah.
Year of the Dragon?
Yeah,
I know
think-
the chat is freaking out about us being on opposite sides of the screen. We did this because we couldn't, when I'm talking and I'm looking at Oz, I was looking off screen. I was like looking the wrong direction. So we had to switch sides so that way when I'm talking, I at least am looking in the direction that Oz is at. But we both can't stand it. So we're going to switch back next week and figure
Yeah.
it out.
And
So
by the
just
way,
bear with us today.
and I will be switching my camera because I'm mostly like this for the whole show, so I got to put the camera on the other side too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
orientation's going to change next week. It's going to go back, and I just don't feel right in this spot. This is your
I know.
chair, not my
I know
chair.
it is my chair.
Yeah, it is your
Yeah.
chair.
Well, and
We've
you're echoey in my ears for some reason. Maybe
we'll
if you just
fix
turn
that.
down a
We'll
hair.
fix that.
Just
We'll
turn
fix
down
that.
a hair.
We'll fix that.
I want to
tomorrow.
shout out the Rokfin real fast though before we get moving, and of course the Rumble and the Kick. But let's do the Rokfin first. We had a super chat over there. Matt Williams, Roar Media receives a tip. Thank you so much for supporting Roar Media. Aram's hanging out over there with Popeye and Fred Edwards. Dirk Diggler, you guys were in early. They were hanging out. Jim and Crone of Heresy's hanging out over there with Nautilus and Snorky Y2K. What's up, Snork? And
Snorky.
Copeland Morris. Good to see you. Yeah, I want to be mirrored. That's what I keep telling us. You got. We don't normally mirror, but I want to be.
Well,
mirrored,
let's
so.
fix that tomorrow so I don't forget.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
We will.
I
for
got
sure.
a few more over here
agree.
on the tubes that were in
SFT,
here
what's up?
early. I want to make sure I get them called out. Deborah Grossbach, gamer, retro gamer is in the house. Good to see you. Crazy Puppet is in the house. Hey, Crazy Puppet. And yeah, there's Mastermind Hour again. We've got Aram's over here too. God, Aram, you're everywhere. And God, the Son of Jesus Christ, says hi.
You're
Hi.
like the U.S. government. You're everywhere.
You are everywhere. And let me see. We got Steve Wolfie's in the house. Hey, Steve Wolfbrandt is good to see you. Steve G is also in the house. Let me see. Who else do I got? We try and get everybody that's here at the start of the show. President Jesus is in the house.
Good to
And
see
let
you.
me see. I think we've got everybody. Kill your egregores. Did I say that right?
never
SFT
get it
is
right.
in the house. Snow Leopard,
get it
good
right.
to see you. Robert Templeton, good to see you, Robert.
Robert,
I
what's
think
up?
I've got everybody. I think.
Well, I got a couple more chats up. We've got the trailer parks hanging out tonight. We got Shane Piper and El Rogue over there. And let's see, we've got on the Rumble, Huckfin, Go Start, La 66, a Birdhouse Blues, a Dingo Ate Me Baby, and we have some peeps hanging out over on Kick too. Madison Elijah 11, welcome. And that doesn't include the X. I don't even have the X up. I'm bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've got it. We're on like 7 platforms or 8 platforms tonight.
We're
so.
everywhere,
I
and we're
know.
still in the dungeon. What can you say?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy out there. There's.
I filed our
Patreon.
taxes today, Oz. I filed
Speaking
the
of that.
Beauty and the Boomer LLC taxes, and fortunately, we're so poor. We got a credit. We got a small business credit, and didn't
Oh,
have to
that's
pay
good.
taxes.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm all
no,
for
it
it.
was good. But it was also encouraging to see that we are actually growing on paper each year from where we were last year to last year. It's a slow little chugga, but we're still going.
You know, I look at us like we're kind of like in Phoenix. I used to go to Tempe, and there were jazz bars, and they had like 60 to 80 people in them. I kind of feel like that's what we're doing on Saturday. We're a little
Yeah, we're the
smoky
small
jazz
club,
bar,
right?
Small club.
Exactly.
We enjoy it.
Good
you
way
know.
to describe it.
We're not going to conquer the world or anything here, but we do have our
No.
chats, and we love everybody here. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, we can always use a couple of bucks. And there they are. There's
Always.
Shanda's Trailer Park Pundit, and there's Oz the Boomer, the old boomer. There's his Buy Me a Coffee. But if you don't have it, don't give it, please. My God. Jar of pickles, Clausen pickles. $5.39 for a little tiny jar of Clausen pickles. I
I
guess
don't even want to talk about
my
food
guilty
prices,
pleasures are
like-
done. I can't afford I can't
So-
even afford my guilty pleasures.
I know.
anymore.
I can't even afford to live. Like, yeah, they don't care anymore. They don't care.
We hope that you guys are checking out our exit reels, which premiere Sunday morning between 10 and noon. And what those are, they're the outros. We're going to start putting those up because we want to credit these artists that are doing these covers, mostly covers. Linda's talking about bringing in some original work which is
That'd
a
be
great
cool.
idea too. That would be great that we have. But
I'd be down for originals.
so far, they're coming out pretty good, and we've got a hell of a good outro tonight. We've got an encore of
Always.
Fleetwood Mac. It's not an encore; it's actually two different songs, but it's still the Hindley Street Country Club over there, and I think they're in Australia. They're fantastic. And next week we're going to do a little bit of classic Toto, Chanda. Classic Toto.
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 You can take the
Next-
reins out of Africa.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, we're going to take them out in the best way possible. But we had
I love this cover photo that you chose. It even's got my wrinkly underlies. Thank you.
Sorry, I could have airbrushed them out, but I thought you'd want to.
No, they're real. Leave them there.
Yeah,
They're real.
well,
Leave
at
'em.
least that's the realest part of the whole thing. But other than your good looks, and that's just wonderful. So
Seems to be all I got left.
yeah. That's me too. I wish I had some.
So
But
did you
have-
see? Did you see? Are we ready to start this deck? So I wrote this deck yesterday morning, and we wake up to the clown show. It was a full-on fucking clown show the night before at Radio City Music Hall, and I love that reface. That is a great reface.
Yeah, it is. Which one, the clowns or you? I
Me,
love-
of course. The clowns,
yeah.
they always look like that.
Yeah, it was the clown show, and we're still dealing with Google Slides dual audio starting, but here we go. You brought this one, and I heard there was some dissension today on her show about an issue, but we'll talk about that later.
I don't know nothing about it. I haven't heard it. I saw some people talking about it in the chat. I'm not going to comment either way because I don't know nothing about nothing. So anyways, this came to my attention a couple days ago that there was a mega donor, like big bucks to go hang out at Radio City Music Hall. And they were very, very strict because there was going to be not one, not two, but three presidents there. So you had Clinton, Obama,
boy.
and frickin' Biden on the stage with the likes of Stephen Colbert, Queen Latifah, Lizzo, Ben Platt. Who is that? I don't even know
I
who
don't
that
know.
is.
Was he in
Leah
Guardians of the
Michelle,
Galaxy?
Cynthia
Fuck.
Ervo, and
Yeah.
Mindy Kaling. I'm not a big Mindy Kaling fan. Anyways, it was one night only. Cost $10,000. I don't know how much it cost to get through the door. It was probably out fucking rageous.
I heard it was 250 to 50 or $500,000.
And I suppose you had to be personally invited by the Democrats to be able to even come,
sure.
right?
They don't
Because
want
that's what
the-
they do with these private fundraisers. Like, it's not open to the public. You have to get a personal invite.
They don't want protesters. They don't want protesters.
They got a shit ton of protesters, and I brought them. But let's cover what was going on inside first, and then we'll cover what's outside. But I want to tell you that any of the video clips that came in via Twitter, those are fine. They won't fire twice on you. It's only YouTube that's going to fire twice on you.
Okay, this is only 19 seconds, and this is
Yeah.
Lizzo, I'm assuming.
This is Lizzo.
Radio City Music Hall! We got three presidents in the building tonight. That sounds like a party to me. So everybody, clap your hands!
From what I understand, she's very talented.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in Hollywood Go Fuck Yourself because the next morning she got up and quit the industry. So we'll talk about it when we get to
She
that
really
part,
quit?
but-
Was she
She
moved
quit.
to? Where'd she move to? Ireland or something, or what?
No, she says she's done with music and touring, that the internet has bullied her and broken her and shamed her to where she doesn't want to do it anymore. But she has been her own worst enemy when it comes to the shit she fucking does and the shit she wears as to why she gets the internet bullying her. And you'll see that. We'll talk about it in Hollywood. But yeah, so that was her introducing them. But here they are. So these are very select videos. You saw all of the mainstream channels when I was over looking at the Cream of Bullshits. Every one of these fucking channels was crying that they couldn't have video cameras in there. Like, it was a private event. We don't have any video to show you. Like, well, somebody got some video. So here they are in all their glory.
In all their
Three
glory.
horsemen of the apocalypse.
You know what else doesn't trigger?
Hot. No, I got it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Oh, because
Bruce
of the music,
Springsteen.
right?
Of course, Bruce Springsteen would be playing in the background, right?
Ew.
We don't want a copyright claim. Well,
Oh,
it's the
okay.
same group. Now, I did it Uncensored on Thursday, Oz, and we talked about that freaking, you can call them the Illuminati, you can call them the Cabal, you can call them Hollyweird. It doesn't matter. It's that same group of people. It's Ellen, it's Oprah, it's the Obamas, it's the Clintons. They're all tied together. Bruce Springsteen included.
Huh. Well, I don't know. 3 war criminals and I don't know.
So
I don't know
it
what
was successful. It was successful.
$25 million successful.
Yeah, I brought a cream of bullshit where they've got a clip of Colbert. It's gross, but
Eh.
yeah, they made the money, right? Because that's what they need to defeat Trump. Democracy.
So you want me to play this Colbert one?
Yeah, play the Colbert. So this is your cream of CNN bullshit.
All right.
This morning, big money energy. You didn't know that was a thing. That is what Democrats are putting off after a blockbuster event overnight. We're getting a look at pictures from inside the event that raised $26 million, though it was a closed event, so we're only getting still pictures and reporting from insiders about what actually happened. CNN's Arlette Saenz live at the White House. Luckily, we have you to tell us what went on because, of course, we don't have moving video from closed fundraisers.
Oh, he doesn't have no video.
Yeah, John, and President Biden's advisors are really hoping that this show of force from Democratic presidents last night will help build momentum as this election is kicking into high gear. The campaign touting the fact that they raised more than $26 million from this one-night event alone, and they're hoping that this will add to the cash advantage that they currently have over former President Donald Trump as they're gearing up for that November fight. Now, President Biden,
This is
President Obama,
disgusting.
and President Bill
Disgusting.
Clinton spent about an hour.
People
with
are
late-night host
starving
Stephen Colbert really laying
in
out the stakes
America.
of this election, trying to warn of the threat that Trump poses to the country. They never named Trump by name, according to the reporters who were there in the room, but they did issue very stark
They never
warnings.
even
President
said
Biden
his
saying that
name.
democracy is at stake and pointed to the January 6th insurrection, saying that there was no president
Oh, my
in the
God.
United States that
Of
day. as
course,
Trump
gotta
sat
bring
here
up
at the White House
J6.
as that unfolded. The president
Oh,
also said in his remarks, quote, "We're at a real inflection point in history. This guy denies global warming. This guy wants to get rid of not only Roe v. Wade, which he brags about having done, he wants to get rid of the ability of anyone in America to have the right to choose. All the things he's doing, they're so old, a little old and out of shape." And the campaign also
That
has
is old
provided
and out
a
of
video
shape as
from
Biden
last
is.
night. Reporters who were in the room were not allowed to record any video from this event, but the campaign is trying to highlight a bit of a lighter moment between President Biden and Colbert. Take a listen.
Saginaw, Milwaukee, Phoenix, Vegas, Atlanta, the Philly suburbs, Manchester, Dallas, and Houston. Donald Trump, as far as we can tell, has just been trying to win a 3rd championship at his own golf course. My question to you, sir, can voters trust a presidential candidate who has not won a single Trump International Golf Club trophy?
give me a
At
break.
long last, sir, have you no chip shot?
Well, look, I'd be happy to play. I told him this before when he came into the Oval when he was being.
Oh
before
my
he was
God,
sworn in.
how
I
fucking
said, I'll give you 3
elitist
strokes if you
gross.
carry your own bag.
Jesus
That was
Christ.
just fucking elitism right there. 100%. Like, oh, we'll battle it out on the golf course. He has to carry his own bag. So gross. So gross. Colbert's gross. It's all gross. Gross.
It is gross. It's
And
absolutely
CNN
gross.
crying that they didn't get video or access. that was fun. That was fun.
What do you got this? What's this?
Case
This-
study QB. This is, let's see. Oh, this is outside. Okay, so I brought 2 videos. This was earlier in the day. So this is kind of before the event starts. And this is case study. Chaotic scenes are unfolding.
What are you here protesting about?
I hate old white men.
that would be
the American
me.
Empire, the American government is funding a genocide with our tax money. I'm protesting the American government, the boss.
Why are you mad at Joe Biden?
Joe Biden is an old white man.
He's a clown. He's supporting Israel against Palestine. That's what we're angry about.
He's racist. He's ruining the country. He's not listening to the American people.
No genocide, Joe. The whole damn system's got to go. Everyone's also mad with Obama and Clinton, are you?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Obama did drone strikes in the Middle East during
Yeah.
his presidency.
What's your message to Joe Biden?
My message to Joe Biden is cease fire now. You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't believe you have an ounce of guilt in your body.
If Joe Biden keeps it up, are you going to vote for him? No.
No, I'm definitely not voting for him. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What about Joe Biden? Does he have your vote?
No, he doesn't have my vote.
Who
My
does?
fucking
This
phone.
does.
Oh,
I like her. She's
That was a
great.
great clip. That
I'm
was
right on
funny.
board with her. I can't stand old white men too. I look at this
Oh,
old
old white
bastard
men.
every morning in the mirror, and I just can't stand him. So,
That was too
oh
good.
well, it's the way it goes. What do you got here? Is this more? Is this cop?
Okay, so this is later in the evening. Things started to get pretty heated.
Okay.
we're escalating. We're on the sidewalk. We're on the fucking sidewalk. Wheelchair! 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 What's there?
There's obviously somebody in a wheelchair. I love it. That's my favorite chant. It's not going to get any better for them, you know. But I ran into a former Bernie delegate who actually sponsored me to go to a lot of the Bernie things that I needed to do in 2016. And I just came away so heartbroken because they're buying into the rhetoric of Joe Biden and TDS and Trump bad. And I was flabbergasted. I'm a professional communicator and I could not convey anything that was going to change this person's mind at all. And I love this person. I've known this person for years. Just like, I felt so defeated. Like, oh shit, what chance do any of us have if,
Well,
if
when
the
they're
Bernie delegates are going for Biden?
when they're worshiping at the altar of Tom Hartman and the likes of Rachel Maddow and people like that, you can't get through to those people. They think because this guy wrote several books or this person's a television personality that they're right. Well, they're not right.
They've been on the TV for years. They must be right.
No.
So I did feel a little hopeless after that encounter, but I just want to say, I brought this because we always, since October 7th, we have started Beauty and the Boomer with our first segment, always as a look at Gaza, the Palestinian people, what's going on, give you guys what we see is happening. And we do that for a reason. And we say it's because we have to bear witness and we have a responsibility. But also it gives people hope if we don't give up and forget about it, because we have the shortest attention span, Americans. We just move on, right?
Yeah.
So I love this little saying here. It says, we went from watching bombs fall like rain on Gaza to men, women, and children being crushed by rubble. And then we watched children bleed and weep in hospitals. And now we're witnessing their starving and withering bodies. As the genocide in Gaza continues, our lives carry on. We mustn't forget them. Let's keep engaging and amplifying the grounded reality however we can. So many feel like these are hopeless times, but our actions and our words are hope. Our ability to speak loud when anyone else is quiet is hope. And the words we need to change: women instead of girls, people instead of children, dead instead of killed, Hamas instead of Palestine. These are the words that they're changing. You see these,
Yeah.
and we see these with every news report. So conflict instead of genocide, hit instead of shot. I hate Western media. Yeah, Western media lies constantly. And I saw that in my friend who was right there and understood the problems just a mere 8 years ago, but has been so propagandized under COVID and everything that we've been through in 8 years. We've lost them. And it shook me because God, we had such a movement in 2016 of people who understood that we got to get health care for the people. We've got to get college tuition down to affordable for people. We got to get a living wage. We need housing. You know, we need infrastructure. All the things that we were fighting for, they're just gone, right?
Yeah.
We get bullshit blown up our ass, smoke blown up our asses by the Democrats that they're taking care of this, they're taking care of that. But really, they're not. I know that we're worse off in the trailer park than we were under, Trump. I know we are.
Yeah, and ultimately, we could be worse off now with Trump had he not been, removed from office the way he was. So, I don't know. I mean,
well, yeah. When you know that it's the globalist freaking agenda that they're unrolling on us, it doesn't fucking matter what puppet is in that spot at the end of the day. And Americans put way too much weight and merit into that, right?
Yeah.
It's all just fucking bread and circuses, Oh, let's watch Biden trip up some stairs and do the pomp and circumstances.
Yeah.
It's all for show.
And you brought these.
Oh, I just thought this was sad. Do you see this?
Yep.
Let me get down there. I'm not on there. Okay, so yeah, this was our family, beautiful, and then happy to live. So they're down to 2, and then alone, tired. There's one left. Whole families, we've seen it. It's just.
Yep. And you've got damage beyond repair there. I support genocide, and I also support genocide. So we're damned if we do, and damned if we don't.
We're damned if we do, we damned if we don't. And that's the freaking point, right?
Yeah. And what do you got
Will you read this one? I need to clear my throat for a second.
Okay. Dr. Mustafa survived 4 targeted Israeli airstrikes, but unfortunately he was killed during the 5th. In his last video to the world, he says, "We have been defeated in front of the children. We are dying of hunger while the world's trash bins are overflowing with food. There is no justice except in heaven." And this is horrendous. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I unmuted my mic. Yeah, it's terrible.
It's horrendous. I mean, look at that guy. And at some point, you got to ask yourself, when do you wish for death instead of what you're going through? Honestly.
Well, we got to keep fighting, and it gives me hope to see that many protesters outside of Radio City Music. And so, that's hope to me. Like, at least people see it. They're not getting apathetic. They're not shutting up and forgetting about it and moving on, right?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm distraught about this, 24/7. You've got a cream of bullshit from Fox News or from News Nation, right? This is News Nation.
Oh, well, ISIS released a new video yesterday. God, we've been waiting with bated breath for a season, renewal for fucking years now. And surprise, they're back. And I just want to know. And I left a message under this video that said, how much of the American taxpayer dollars went to their reunion? Like, that's, we funded this shit.
Yeah, we did.
On the world stage, a new warning from ISIS reportedly calling for lone wolf attacks during the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. It comes in the wake of that large-scale attack on a concert hall in Russia that left more than 140 people dead. The Islamic State offshoot, ISIS-K, claims responsibility. Correspondent Joe Khalil live in Washington. And Joe, you've more on this warning and the readiness of America's intelligence community.
Yeah, U.S. intelligence services are constantly monitoring threats, and anything that comes from a group like ISIS or ISIS-K is taken seriously. But, Nicole, when you've got a specific threat, then the defense posture is heightened, and that's what we have here. An ISIS-K spokesperson called out lone wolves, prompting them to take action. These individuals that may not be associated with any specific groups, but themselves may be radicalized by ISIS ideology, and the call was to attack, kill, harm as many Christians and Jews as possible during the holy month of Ramadan, which we're in right now, and it goes through April 9th. This spokesperson for ISIS-K made that call last night in a 41-minute video that was posted on the messaging app Telegram. That's first reported by multiple outlets in the UK. The message went on to praise the deadly attack last week in Moscow that ended up killing more than 140 people, which ISIS-K has already claimed credit for. Now, here in the U.S., before they left for their recess, both the House and the Senate held what they call their annual threat assessment hearings, meaning you had the top intel officials in the country, the head of the FBI, the CIA, and the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, came and they all had a consensus about ISIS, which is that the group over the last few years has actually regrouped and regained in strength, more so than they were just a couple of years ago, and they're more poised now to launch attacks like the one that we saw in Moscow. Take a listen to what we heard from the FBI Director, Christopher Wray.
We're at a heightened threat level from a terrorism perspective in the sense that it's the first time I've seen in a long, long time the threats from homegrown violent extremists, that is jihadist-inspired extremists, domestic violent extremists, foreign terrorist organizations, and state-sponsored terrorist organizations all being...
Well, whatever. I don't know why I cut off, but it's whatever. Total fucking, you know, that was funded by us. You know it was 100%. We want Russia to be attacked in country, so of course we're gonna support these guys. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Cream of bullshit.
Yeah, that is cream of bullshit. Meanwhile, back on the East Coast.
This made me laugh. Jesse Jett, keeping it real. He said, Jesse Jett says, I admittedly got way too excited after the first 5 words. And you look at it and it says, Fox News puts Fetterman down as Republican.
Oh my God.
He might as well be a Republican, right? At the end of the day, they're all the freaking same.
They are all
For
the
sure.
same. They are the same. And, you know, I've been noticing this AIPAC tracker. This started popping up, 2 weeks ago?
I love it. I love it.
I'm glad.
Follow the AIPAC tracker.
I'm more than happy to share these around on my feed on X.
Because
it just shows you, you know, this one,
I'm going to start dropping them on Biden supporters over on Facebook.
Yeah, and this is just what they can account for lifetime for Joe Biden, 5,736 since 1990 something. And Tom Cotton, I don't know what the time frame is on this. It's a little bit, you know, tricky to figure out, but usually it's when they get into office.
Probably lifetime, right?
Yeah, could be, you know, but when they're coming up for election, you never know. But yeah, Joe has been a huge recipient. And of course, you just had Johnny Boy Fetterman there. 244,000, you know, since he won that close election. What are they what are they blocking out with the red there? Do you know?
I don't.
Yeah,
maybe here, let me go back to the other one and see what it says. So
maybe it's
from pro-Israel interest groups is what it says. Tom Cotton's has got a block on it too. I don't know what it's blocking.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to figure that out because maybe the chat knows. They're up on this kind of stuff. So
I think it's just part of the design.
So you got a Fiorella here?
She is on fire. Yeah, she is. She said, I went and saw Jenna to see the exact site where the inspirational Shireen Abu
Akleh.
Akleh, okay, was murdered by Israel forces for doing journalism. With her life, she exposed how before October 7th and outside of Hamas's jurisdiction, Israel targets civilians and journalists who've exposed crimes. Yeah, remember this?
Yeah, I think it's ticked
so much
up to
has
about,
happened.
Yeah, I think it's well into 730 journalists now. So I don't know. It's crazy.
That's insane. How is that not a fucking war crime?
So is this Fee reporting on this? Is this from her?
Yes, this is Fee, I think.
Okay.
Shireen Abu Akleh was killed here, and this is a mural for her. This is precisely the place where she was killed. There are 2 bullet holes on the tree where that remains of how she was targeted and her entire crew.
Yep. That's the place, and she was
good work, Fee. Fee's been on fire this week. If you haven't been following, I've got Fee says, I got 3 Fee says already on Monday's deck. So
good. And what did you bring Ratface here? What's he got going on?
Ratface, AIPAC.
Oh, he's
They're
kissing
all
AIPAC.
God bless AIPAC.
Kissing AIPAC.
God bless
Capital
AIPAC.
crumbled to the ground.
They're all kissing AIPAC.
The one thing that would remain is our commitment to our aid, our cooperation with Israel.
As long as I have the opportunity to serve in Congress, I'm going to make sure that that aid continues in a strongly robust fashion, no conditions.
For as long as I live, for as long as I have the privilege of serving in the Senate from New York, I will unflinchingly, unstintingly, and with all of my strength, be Shomer Yisrael, a guardian of Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Yisrael Chai.
And that's all chump change,
We know
Chanda.
you are.
We give them Israel what 3.8 billion a year, and they're throwing a few million here, a few million there. I mean, we're paying.
It's our money.
We're paying for our own foreign agents. We're paying for their foreign agents by doing that, and those guys are nothing but foreign agents. And the case for them being a fucking foreign agent is they're taking money and going to places like this and sucking the ass of their benefactors. They should be ashamed of themselves. They have no business being in our Congress. And I submit to you all, these guys are working for Israel, period, not for the United States.
United
Fuck
States
them.
of Israel. We don't have the United States of America. We have the United States of Israel.
Schumer is just disgusting. So is this asshole right here, Pelosi and Richie Torres and the rest of them. Just disgusting. Sorry. I'll calm down now. Oh, God, I can't
They pissed
stand
you
these
off.
guys.
When you see how much money they've taken, it pisses you off. That's your government being bought out.
Yep, and with your own money. This is the
With
ultimate
your own
grift.
taxpayer money, right?
Ultimate grift. I see you brought a Claire Daly to calm me down.
I
You're getting
had to
good at
bring
this.
a Claire Daly. Thank you.
See if I can start it.
This week's resolution on Afghanistan is a tour of force. It really is. Gaslighting, phony feminism, weaponized concern, all the greatest hits.
Oh, they love to do the
20
phony
years of
feminism
NATO
for
war and
Afghanistan.
occupation that visited suffering, death and destruction on the women of Afghanistan. According to this resolution, it never happened. The empowerment and consolidation of the Taliban from that war and occupation. Again, that never happened. A reflection on the fact that the US invaded Afghanistan to save Afghan women and that instead murdered and maimed them in their tens of thousands and then left, and the vast, vast majority of them worse off than they were before. Forget it. The very last thing Afghan women need is more Western concern, more of the iron fist concealed in a velvet glove. Because until the West starts reckoning with the 23 years of violence and pain it's brought to the women of Afghanistan, then you'll never be in a position to effect change.
Here, here.
Here,
Claire.
here, frickin' Claire, I love it. And yes, they always tote that. Remember, that's what they sold us. That's what CNN sold us when we invaded Afghanistan was, oh, we gotta protect the women. They're not allowed to drive or breathe.
Yeah, so we just go in and kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. You brought an Oppenheimer clip? What's this about?
No, this isn't an Oppenheimer clip. Just go ahead and play it. It's self-explanatory.
Why do you think Cillian Murphy stands with his hands in his pockets in front of Prince Harry of the United Kingdom? There is a historical event underlying Murphy's spiteful gaze. In 1920, during Ireland's War of Independence, the order was given in Cork City that men with their hands in their pockets will be shot. That's why the Irish don't like the British royal family. In this shot, Irish rugby player Ronan O'Gara showed the same attitude to the Queen and caused a crisis. This is how the Irish protest in a simple but very effective way in their encounters or dialogues with members of the royal family.
Yeah, all you men out there, you ever encounter the royal family, you better get those hands in your pockets.
Oh, God. We've got accused of
It's
doing
a
other
subtle
things with
sign
our
of
hands.
disrespect, right? There's all these weird, like the kids have this thing now. I'm sure you haven't heard this. Maybe some of you in the chat. It's called mewing. And they go, if they don't want to listen to whatever you're saying, or they're like shut up, they'll go like this. They'll put their finger in front of their mouth and then they wipe their jaw like with their finger, like just like this. So they go shh. It's
What's
called
that
mewing.
called? It's called
mewing. Yeah,
Mewing.
and it's a way of saying fuck you, and it's driving teachers across the country crazy because they've got kids all day in class telling them basically F you in their own language.
Well, good. So show me how to do that again. You
go shh, and then you trace your jawline.
I can do
That's the
that.
newest thing. It's supposed to be like a sign of shank, like shh. I ain't
And
got time for you.
that's equivalent to fuck off or fuck you. Is
Yeah,
that what-
yeah. It's the equivalent to I don't respect you, F you.
So is this all outdated? This still works, doesn't it?
that works where I come from. So
Okay.
yeah, I think
Well,
you're
I'm
good,
a boomer. What do you expect? I have to say, our executive producer extraordinaire, Linda, has done it again.
Oh, it's so good.
These yum-yums are great. And Linda is or will be uploading these, I believe, on Sunday around noon, I think.
Share them out. Share them.
out.
You guys know they're packed full of knowledge.
She's doing fantastic. So
Lots of facts.
I will check with her. I'll send her a message and find out what time exactly. Like I said, I'm putting up the exit reels between 10 and 12, so I'm thinking either before or after. But here is the latest Yum Yum from our executive producer, Linda, and it is a gem. Once again, she does it big time.
Israel celebrates Land Grab Day. Palestine commemorates Land Day. March 30th. On this date in 1976, 6 Palestinian citizens of Israel are killed by Israeli police in the first major organized Palestinian collective response to Israel's 28-year colonization and murder spree. Since then, Palestinians have commemorated March 30th as Land Day, not just to remember all those Israel has slaughtered, but to ponder new ways of combating their erasure. I have a few ideas, but most Palestinians are too kind to think of these, and they definitely wouldn't implement them. Land Day protests on this date in 2018 kicked off the Great March of Return demonstration series in Gaza, set to take place each Friday through mid-May, but actually continued through mid-December of 2019. After some kids threw rocks at them, the cowardly Israeli army killed 17 Palestinians and wounded 2,400. Of those killed on that day, one was a farmer who was acting suspiciously near the border, another a young man running away from the fence holding a tire. He was shot in the back and accused of being Hamas by the IDF. Like all IDF claims, this one too is bullshit. It's been estimated that about 223 Palestinians lost their lives to Israeli military and police during these demonstrations. But that info is sketchy because some of it comes from the IDF itself. The numbers are probably higher. What isn't in dispute is the fact that Palestinians commemorate Land Day on March 30th, but Israel's land-grabbing ass celebrates its murderous thievery every day. Hashtag, fuck that Zionist hellhole.
Tell us how you feel, Linda. Hashtag, fuck that murderous
Tell us how
hellhole.
you really feel, Linda. You know, I'm going to parse this as best I can. Do you see the detail and the effort she puts into that to do the issue justice? That is, you know, for those of you who do video and make things, that's a lot of work, but it's not work to her. It's a passion because she actually gives a shit about what's going on. And I commend Linda and all of you who are supporting Palestine in such a way. Thank you so much.
Great work, Linda.
Yeah. And Chanda brought some imagery to my shaking of blood-soaked hands here.
That's exactly what it is. Show me the difference in these pictures. I don't see a difference.
I don't see a difference either. It's the same. It's sad. It's a sad testament to what we've got going on in our world today. But I don't know. What else are we going to do? Now, what do you have here? What is this?
Well, we woke up on Friday to a Michigan woman having the special agents at her door. Are they FBI? I don't know.
Yeah.
We never saw credentials for these guys because they don't have to show you credentials. They get that arrogant fucking copped attitude about, well, I flashed it at you 2 seconds when I knocked on your door, so I don't have to give you any more explanation than that, which is fucking bullshit. And it's because of something she posted on fucking Facebook of all places. That was pro-Palestinian. That's all we've been told. I haven't seen the post. I don't know what the post is, but trying to convey to the everyday people around you that censorship is fucking rampant and out of control. They don't fucking care. They don't care. It's not affecting them, so it's not a problem. but this is
I've seen this, and I'm going to call bullshit on these guys. I don't think they're FBI. I think they're a front group sponsored by the likes of AIPAC or Israel to go around and hassle people. That's what I think. But you guys,
put it past AIPAC.
You guys watch this, and frankly, I'm glad that she took the video of this. But honestly, they'd get about 2 seconds from me. They didn't show me the ID. I'd turn around, walk in the house, and close my door. They could fuck all the way off.
Do you have a warrant? Well, then there's nothing to discuss. Call my lawyer. And that's pretty much what she does.
Yeah, and she should. But let's watch it here. I'm going to kick it up to 125.
Can we just move in front of the house so the dogs don't go crazy?
Sure, damn good.
I need you to identify yourself and let me take imagery of your IDs.
I can share my credentials on the phone.
So you said you were with the FBI?
That's correct.
And why won't you show me your credentials?
We did.
I didn't take a look at them. I said, 1 second, I'll be right back. Are you going to show me your credentials or no?
Yeah, we did already. So, and we identified ourselves. So what we'd like to do...
I didn't look at your credentials. Again, I didn't verify them. I told you to wait, and I went inside.
Okay, that's correct. What we'd like to do is just have a conversation with you about some social media posts that you've made. Would you be willing to talk to us today about that?
No, I would not. I would like you to later talk on with my lawyer.
Okay.
Do you have identification? Cards? No. No. I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right. You'd like to have your attorney contact the FBI office in Oklahoma City.
What's the number?
They're out of Oklahoma
What are the names
City.
of the agents?
What's their number? They should have a card with the number. They shouldn't have
You're refusing to identify yourselves.
They're
It's like, I'll
Googling
get you
it.
the
Again,
number to
I
the
did not take a
Oklahoma
look.
office.
Bullshit.
So the phone number for the FBI in Oklahoma City is 405-290-7770.
Okay.
You can just call them.
Yeah, don't call him. Tell him to fuck
Tell
off.
him that Facebook flagged me for posts.
Facebook gave us a couple of screenshots of your accounts.
Okay. So we no longer live in a free country and we can't say what we want?
No, we totally do. That's why we're not here to arrest you or anything like that.
Well, you can't arrest me for
That's
freedom
why
of
we're not
speech.
here
We live
to
in America.
arrest you.
Exactly. So it's kind of weird that you want to come talk to me about me exercising my freedom of speech.
We do this every day, all day long, talk to people.
Okay.
It's just an effort to keep everybody safe, make sure that nobody has any ill will or bad intent or anything like that. And we've got no reason to believe necessarily that that's you, and that's why we just wanted to have a conversation.
So do you have a conversation with everybody on the neighborhood?
Do you have information with anybody else in the neighborhood?
I mean, all I've done is exercise my right as an American citizen on a public social media platform with my personal opinions. Correct? Okay. Most of the individuals, right, in America, especially older generation, right, have Facebook. Are you questioning all the citizens in America?
We certainly would if we have any sort of concerns.
Okay, so you have concerns about my personal opinions?
If you don't want to talk to us, then you
I'm definitely not going to have a talk with you.
Well, thank you for your time this morning, and feel free to reach out to us.
Okay, they're so-called FBI.
Way to call them out, and that's exactly how you frickin' handle them. Get your camera out, where's your warrant, and I don't have to talk to you. Talk to my attorney.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I'd be getting those license plates. Yeah, good girl. Good. Yeah, that's so smart. That's so smart. Probably a rental car would be my guess.
Yeah, it looks like a rental car.
This is Rolla Abdel-Jawad in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
That's in Oklahoma.
This is America.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not the America I was brought up to know.
Well, we live with censorship every day, right? I mean, we've been suppressed and shadow banned and locked in the dungeon at YouTube and Rumble for frickin' years. And now they're starting to knock on your frickin' doors for what you're saying and doing. That was for a Facebook post. Can you imagine what they'll do to us for going on air daily and saying the things we say?
Well, we don't threaten anybody. You know, I mean, we just voice our opinion. So there's nothing they can really do.
Yeah, we say that, right? We say that as Americans. It's my First Amendment, but you wait.
So what is this? Did you bring this or did I? We share brains, so I don't know sometimes if I bring it.
I did bring this, but I don't know if we can play the clip because it's 60 minutes. And
no,
you know,
you can't.
60 minutes, they'll
you
kid
can't play
us, right?
60 minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
so we won't play the clip. See, this is why we have to do Uncensored.
60 minutes always bangs us.
They do. So anyways, this is a misinformation expert.
Bullshit.
Because, you know, bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? But I love what Jack says. Jack says there's no such thing as a misinformation expert. And I refuse to play along with this bullshit. The experts getting things wrong a lot I don't fucking need anyone to censor what I see and what I hear. I'm perfectly capable of receiving information and deciding if it's viable, all on my own. Imagine that as an American. Yeah. Misinformation expert. And this chick looks like she hasn't left the dorm room since she freaking got to college. And yeah, she knows the difference between misinformation and facts. Whatever. What is this that you brought? I see it's got your 666 on it.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I know facts don't matter to Donald Trump, so that was enough for me for Morning Joe bullshit. But I thought it was appropriate because I seem to land on the 666 more than I would like, you know. So I thought
It's creepy how often you're sending me screenshots of 666.
Yeah, it's something's after me. I think I don't know what the fuck it is. What are you trying to tell me?
It's the devil's comet that's on its way to kill us all.
Do I have? Am I auditioning for a job? Is that what those things are? I don't know what the hell that is. You brought this Assange defense.
This is a great little 2-minute clip of what they're the bullshit that they're arguing about, you know, Assange and how you're not going to give him the death penalty. Bullshit.
I don't even know why they're arguing it.
Today is a very dark day for freedom of expression in the world. I think Gabriel Shipton, Julian's brother, captured it, that this court has put Julian Assange in purgatory. They have created what I believe could be a hopeless trail going forward, and I think it perpetuates much of the travesty that this case stands for since it was first initiated. It's important to understand the essence of the ruling, that of the 9 grounds that Julian Assange and his lawyers sought to have further appellate review in the UK courts, these 2 judges of the High Court have denied any appellate review on 6 of those grounds, and they have offered conditional review on the 3 of those grounds that my colleagues have discussed. The United States government, meaning the executive branch of the government, has time to make those assurances, and then on May 20, there will be a further hearing at which Julian Assange's attorneys will be able to challenge whether those are substantial assurances. There is a kind of naivete in this ruling. It's 66 pages, but the British can be very loquacious, but get nowhere in what they are saying. And I do urge people watching this webinar, you can go to the site, you can go to Assange Defense. There is a summary of the decision in a press release that the court has issued, which is quite explicit in clarifying what the court did.
I thought that what Gabriel said is perfect. They have put Assange in purgatory. And that's exactly it. So now it sounds like we have another hearing coming on May 20th where Assange's attorneys will get in there and kind of rebuttal some of the bullshit that the United States is pushing back. You know, oh, we would never put the death penalty. Well, you're not making insurances that that's not going to happen.
Do you think if this country throws out the Biden administration in the next election cycle, anything will change as far as Julian Assange goes?
No, it is not going to change at all. Trump had an opportunity to pardon Assange, and instead he pardoned a bunch of P. Diddy's fucking friends.
Yeah,
not even kidding.
I'm just saying this is an opportunity for the Republicans to really make some strong ground and stance if they start doing the right thing, which is not in their nature, but
well, I can tell you it's not this next slide. They want to fucking, you know, have a militarized police force, especially after a fallen NYC officer this week. So Trump, you know, he had to go get that police vote behind him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not good.
This was the counter to the Radio City Music Hall shit. This is what I believe this was, truly.
Oh, absolutely it was.
Honestly.
Former President Donald Trump attending the wake for slain NYPD officer Jonathan Diller. It happened yesterday. He's calling out the lack of order in this country.
The family is devastated. The police force is devastated. It's happening more and more, and it's really a lack of respect for law and order, and we have to have law and order back in our country, and we're going to. It's getting worse and worse for police because we're not taking care of them. We're not allowing them to do their job properly.
Yep, this as assaults on police officers are increasing with over 65,000 in 2022. Joining us now is the host of Crime Cam 24/7, back on Fox Nation, and he's back with us, retired Tulsa Police Lieutenant Sean Stix-Larkin. Sean, your reaction, is the president overstating it when he says there's just a lack of respect for police officers, lack of law and order on the streets?
No, it's absolutely spot on. It's something we've seen growing over the last several years. Officer Diller was killed here in New York City. Just here in New York City alone in 2 years, the number of assaults against police officers is almost 25%, has increased. In Minnesota, the number of police officers shot at since 2017 compared to 2023 is almost quadrupled. I mean, this is happening across the country, and we've seen this movement where the police are the villains, the police are the bad guys, and it's empowering these criminals that are out on the streets.
I promise you, they're not here to protect the fucking trailer park. They give two shits about us. The only time they come in here is to fucking crackheads and take somebody out with a warrant. I mean, they don't protect anybody but the fucking predator classes fucking shit. Good example of it. New law just passed in Florida about squatters, right? They're going to do something about squatters because squatters all over the country are taking over fucking properties. Well, they didn't do shit about squatters till Vanguard owned 40% of the fucking single homes in the fucking country.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because you have that, remember the thin blue line or whatever the hell it was? So you've got the corrupt law enforcement who's
Which is
giving,
most of them across the country.
Yeah, who's giving the honest, the good law enforcement a bad rap, but the good law enforcement's covering the corrupt law enforcement.
What good law enforcement?
So
I never met any.
I know, but this is my old boomer way of thinking. If there's bad and good covers up bad to protect themselves from whatever, then ultimately the good becomes bad. So they're both bad. Everything's bad. Bad.
Bag of rotten apples. One
I
apple
say,
goes bad, they all go bad.
Solve the goddamn problems that incur this kind of thing in the first place. Unemployment, healthcare, things like that. Solve those problems, and I bet you things will go down. But we've got so much corruption in the United States government and the UK and Germany and everywhere else in the world, France, that it can never fix itself. I think we're doomed. That's my cynicism. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're right. In watching what happened during the George Floyd riots, the Summer of Love, right? I mean, we covered that. We were on the air for that whole entire summer, and I just came away with a total fucking disdain for the cops. I already had one because I've had them beat me down in the fucking streets protesting. And they're not there to protect us. At the end of the day, that's not what it's about.
No, they're multiple things they're there to protect. The elite, the control class, and they're there to protect their damn jobs, just like Congress is there to protect their jobs.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I love what Misty said. Misty said, yes, law and order, like arresting, spying on, and plotting to assassinate journalists, right, Donnie? Get fucked, hypocrite. Hashtag free Assange. I totally agree, Misty. Fuck
Misty's right on. Yeah, Misty, say it the way it is. Say it the absolute way it is.
They both suck. At the end of the day, they both frickin' suck.
You brought one of the biggest traitors in my lifetime here.
All right. Well, he's got to remind you that this election is the most important election that we've ever been through.
I've heard this
Trump
before.
Bad. Trump bad.
I've heard this before. Like every election cycle for the last 4 decades, if not
life,
more.
Yeah. Right.
Bullshit, Bernie.
This election is of extraordinary importance in so many respects. It is important because we are running against the most dangerous political figure in the modern history of this country.
Shut up.
And
they give Trump too much fucking credit. My God, he's a dumb motherfucking talk show host.
Slouch it off. Trump does not believe in the concept of climate change. So what does it mean? It means not only that all of the work we have done in trying to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel will be undone, but every other country on earth is going to say, hey, if the second largest emitter in the world is given up on trying to transform the energy systems, we're not going to do it either. And that really means dooming our kids and future generations to a very, very unhealthy, perhaps uninhabitable world. So you don't need to know anything more than that to understand how dangerous
taking their car away from them by 2030, that's not going to do anything to them.
Much greater than just that.
This guy, I can't, never mind. fuck
Well,
this.
this is why I have so much rage when it comes to RFK Jr. and all of the people that he's duping. Because at the end of the day, he's doing the same thing. And you know what? I gotta admit, RFK Jr. has got a hell of a fucking campaign machine. A lot like Bernie's. It's very reminiscent to me of the same type of campaign that Bernie was running digitally with the emails. They've got somebody there to respond. They've got thousands of fucking volunteers that are interacting with anybody who signs up, and it's very camaraderie, bring you in like they did with the Bernie movement. But at the end of the day, he's just stealing poor people's money. He's not going to win. He doesn't have a chance to win. Like,
this is again, I'll say it again. This is working out nicely for the Democrats because they can blame RFK Jr. for their loss in 24, and they can blame MAGA
like
for everything else. And this is I swear to God, Chanda, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll mea culpa.
No, they're going to make a shit ton of money. Are you kidding? And it's RFK Jr.'s fault and everybody who supported him, just like what they did to us under Bernie.
They're setting this whole thing up for 28. That's what it is.
Yep.
24.
God,
Go ahead.
We always play the long game. Yeah, we got a super chat over on the YouTube. Hey, we actually got paid by Rumble, guys. Thank you, Rumble. It was quite the surprise the other day to see a payment come in. It was a payment for the whole year, and it wasn't very much, so that probably has something to do with it. But DC says, I support squatters' rights. Homes vacated for more than a year should be lived in by anyone who needs a shelter. Fuck the tyrannical property oligarchy. Hey, totally agree. Totally
as human beings, we could actually fix that whole thing, but they don't want to. They want to use the stick. They always want to use the stick instead of helping people. So yeah, DC, I get you. I'm with you.
Yeah. In 2008, after the crash of 2008, I remember walking up a street in my little town, the next town over. I was living in it. Every single house was empty on that street. Every single house. It just broke my heart to see our little town shattered and decimated like that, you know?
I'm going to go back and say what I did 5 minutes ago. If we solved the goddamn problem in the first place, you wouldn't have squatters. I mean, we sent so far $150.3 billion to Ukraine and Israel. I think it was just Ukraine. And how much would that take care of homeless people? 20 billion would take care of the homeless problem in this country?
Zelensky's crying for more money. I've got it on the deck for Monday. Yeah, he needs more money or they're going to pull out. But, you know, it's funny because those who feverly support Biden are just convinced that we kicked Russia's ass in Ukraine. I'm just shocked. Like, where are you getting this information? Oh, I know people over there on the front lines, and yeah, we're kicking Russia's ass. Like, no.
I agree with those in the chat. I see a lot of people talking about how high rent is. Yeah, you're right. It's 3 to 4 times what it should be. Yep. You know, honest to God.
Wages are too damn low, Jilly. 100% wages are too low. Rents are too fucking high. There's a lot of fucking price gouging going on just because everybody's now like, oh, everything's expensive, so we got to raise the price of everything.
And they're going to blame. They're going to blame all the closings and layoffs on the wages. Yep. You watch, because they're going to give $20 an hour some places for minimum wage. They're going to blame it on that. That's bullshit. Yeah. That ain't it. It's a combination.
Oh, it's the $20 minimum wage that killed the economy, right?
What did you bring Lunatic here for? What's she going to say?
Biden. So she was doing a radio interview, and I don't know who it is that's asking her the questions doing the interview, but she found out, asked her if Biden has dementia, and her head about comes off. She starts just spewing just stupid crap. But the economy's good. Blah, 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 blah.
When I told another talking to you today, interesting though, they all said, would you please just ask her, does the president have dementia? So before I move on from it, does
he does.
Mark, I can't even believe you're asking me this question. That is an incredibly offensive question to ask.
But you know people ask it.
Wait, no. You're taking us down this rabbit hole. Let me be very clear about this. For the past several years, the president's physician has laid out in a comprehensive way the president's health.
In a very
this is the president. If you watch him every day, if you really pay attention to his record and what he has done, you will see exactly how focused he's been on the American people, how historic his actions has been.
Historic.
And so I'm not even going to truly, really, take the premise of your question. I think it is incredibly insulting, and so we can move on to the next question.
Gas prices and grocery prices, then big topics here in North Carolina. How does Mr. Biden win votes when people don't have as much disposable income?
Look, the president understands. He grew up in a middle-class family, working class
fuck
family
off,
in
virtue
Pennsylvania.
signaling.
He gets it. He understands how difficult it is for Americans who are sitting around their kitchen table every month trying to figure out what they're going to pay for. You have to remember, when the president walked into this administration, there were multiple crises happening. There was COVID. There was the economy was in a tailspin because of the last administration, because of what the President Trump left us with. Now you're asking me about gas prices. The president took action on gas prices. Let's not forget, Russia's invasion on Ukraine skyrocketed prices of gas. And because the president took action, we are in a different place than we were a year ago in gas prices.
No, we're not.
Milk, seafood products, all the important grocery costs have gone down because
no,
of
they haven't. We were twins on that one. No, they haven't.
They have not.
They have not gone down.
She just gaslight you. Like, that's what she does. That's what she gets paid to do.
Well, what they're trying to say is they went up 100% and they went down 5% now, so they've gone down. Fuck off. Exactly. Are you kidding me, man? Totally. What was Kurt screaming about the other day on Jimmy Dore show? Eggs are $12. I mean, well, no, actually $7, I think. But here it's $7. Who knows what it is everywhere else? And I love this, Chanda, because I want to make this point again. I told Chanda in the green room, nobody likes us because we don't take sides.
I know, we don't play the side game. Either picture offends you, paint your face too.
Yeah, exactly. We don't take the sides on this shit. If there's a side we're going to take, it's with the public. That's what we're going to do. And we have our opinions. So, Margaret Kimberly, I brought this. Now, we had another bridge go down this week, and it was because a great big boat hit a big pylon, and I'm still kind of
I think it was intentional.
I'm weirded out by this thing.
But just my conspiracy.
Margaret Kimberly said, okay, here we go. Sharing Travel says 7 days to build a temporary bridge after the Lixana Bridge in Guangzhou, China, which is where my wife is from, was broken by a ship. The temporary bridge was opened this morning. And Margaret Kimberly says, hi, Margaret. Accidents happen in China, too, but the end result is quite different. Would a temporary bridge be built in the U.S. in 7 days? Hell the fuck no.
Hell no. It'll be years before that waterway's got a bridge over it.
No, there it is right there. And honest to God, Chanda, and this one's this isn't as long. That the bridge went down the other
people.
Yeah, the bridge that went down the other day was like 1.6 miles long. I guess it was a huge bridge. But I'm telling you, it's going to take years to rebuild a bridge, in my opinion. We'll see. How long do you think it's going to take them to rebuild the bridge or build another bridge?
I'm going to give it 2 years at least. Because they got to get bids, and then they got to, sell it off to their buddies for frickin', to make money. And everybody's got their pockets open for it. And then finally it'll be overpriced, and the taxpayers will pay twice for it. And they'll probably put a toll on it. And, it'll take years.
I know you have very little to say about Jon Stewart, but go right ahead.
What can I say that Jimmy Dore didn't say yesterday? Jimmy burned him to the ground in classic Jimmy Dore style. So Jon Stewart found to have overvalued his NYC home by 829% after slamming Trump's civil case as not victimless. But what he did was victimless.
Yeah, and he was tweeting about how what I did was totally different from what what Donald Trump did. I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm saying from a visual, from looking at it visually, you did the same thing, asshole. Bottom line.
You did the same exact thing.
Yeah, you did. So whatever. Go to hell. I used to like Jon Stewart. I thought he was something, that I could count on. Well, I count on him like I count on everybody else. They're going to stab you in the back. Jon Stewart, Bernie Sanders, all of them. Barack Obama.
They're all paid for at the end of the day.
They are all paid for. And you brought this one. I don't know what this is about. What are you going to say here? What's
JB had Jill Stein on, and she called RFK Jr. pretends to be a peace candidate. I agree. He's not no peace candidate when you're raining bombs on fucking Gaza.
Look, and just one more thing. One more thing. When you said there are 4 corporate people running, I am quite heartened to hear that you mentioned someone like a RFK Jr. From the way the direction he's going is as if he's being puppeted by Shmuley Botiach. And it is looking like it's looking very bad on his face because there's a lot of people that are seeing the genocide that is happening. And I'm very happy that you said this is a genocide that is happening because a lot of people are not brave enough to even utter those words. And someone like RFK Jr. really could take a page out of your book from showing chutzpah and being able to look at the Israel lobby and saying absolutely not. This should not be allowed. So I thank you for calling him out on that as well, because I honestly think that there's a lot of misleading that is being done and being called an independent while espousing that you are an independent. To me, he's a Democrat with an I next to his name.
Yeah, if even. To my mind, this is just unmitigated corruption, to be taking their money, to be fundraising with them, that is the Israel lobby, which is conducting a genocide, and then to pretend that you are a peace candidate, as if the war in the Middle East is not a war in the Middle East. This is a war. We are bombing 4 countries. We are bombing Iranian targets. In addition, Iran is now in a military alliance with Russia. So this could go nuclear. This is like pre-World War I with nuclear weapons thrown into the mix. This could happen. This does happen. World War I wasn't expected to happen, but it was equally complex and kind of a malevolent mix, which is what's going on right now. But there are nuclear weapons thrown into this mix as well. And, in my view, I think you're more patient or generous than I am. I would not hold my breath that someone who has sold their soul to the extent that RFK has, I'm sad to say. But that became pretty clear early on when he started, doing his appearances with Rabbi Shmuley and, and then doing fundraisers with Jordan Adelson's wife. I mean, are you kidding? Yep. How do you get more in the pocket of AIPAC than what he's doing? And it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And we need to move on. We need to move on with a world that works for all of us right now. There's no hope of that. So we got to stand up.
I'm not a big fan of Jill, you know that, but I agree.
No, neither am I. But when she's right, she's right. Just like a lot of them.
Yeah,
it's nice of JB to have her on. And you notice I said it was nice of her to go on JB's show. No. It was nice of JB to have her on. So thank you, JB, for getting her on the show. And that's how we should approach it, because you know what, the managerial class is, we give them power. Don't give them power. Don't give any of these cucks power. If they, you take the power. You are the people. And they've been dividing us for decades now. We've got to stop that shit, and we've got to start talking to the other side. And with what we agree with them on, let's work with them, because we become more powerful. Now, mass layoffs are a big... Go ahead.
Did you put Biden there? Is he looking up my skirt?
Yes, he is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to do that. Well, mass layoffs are continuing. And, a couple weeks ago, I said, I'm going to have to put this on a scroll. Well, guess what? I had to put it on a scroll because this week was a banner week for mass layoffs and closures. So I'm just going to run this up. I'm going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to kick it up to, let's see, 175 here. So we've got that. Here's a summary of the major companies that have announced layoffs this week around the world. Microsoft laid off 1,900 people, about 8% of their workforce. Rumba Maker, 350. Januf laying off 357. Salesforce, 700. Levi Strauss, 15%. Business Insider cutting 8%. Time, 15%, no loss there. eBay, 1,000. Los Angeles Times, 20% of the workforce. Figma, Firmtech, TikTok, 60 jobs. Riot Games, Wayfair, 13. Macy's, 2,500 jobs. Citigroup, 20,000. And here's a little tie on this. And I know we have no love for Nike, but they are a big employer. I think I read 20,000. 20,000. So all the ancillary jobs, along with all these jobs, but business is booming.
No, I think I've heard that the unemployment is down, isn't it? Yeah.
No, the unemployment's hovering between...
they're trying to tote that it's down, though.
Yeah, they're full.
They've created jobs. That's what they say every fucking quarter, right?
They haven't created shit. They count jobs. They don't count them the same as they did when I was a kid. And I agree with what's been said this week. I've heard it on several shows. I've always contended that unemployment in this day and age has been anywhere between 18 and 28%. Right in between that. It just depends on where you are in the universe. But for the average is 18% to 28%. So there's a 10% swing in the middle. That's, argue with me all day long, but I truly think I'm right. Now, I just brought this for optics, and I just want to know, we got Build Back Better. Well, that kind of speaks for itself. Let's give another $150.3 billion to Ukraine. Is that a good idea, Chanda?
Yeah. Let's give Ukraine money. And Israel's going to be banging on the door wanting money here any freaking week, too. It's been a couple of weeks. So
oh, hell
they've
yes.
done blown up all the money we gave them.
Yeah, you brought this, Melanie Diargo? Who is
Diargo? If your job requires a college degree, you should be able to write off your student loan payments as a business expense the way CEOs write off their private jets and yachts for their jobs, which require neither.
I agree with that. Totally That's a good one. That's very good.
Let me get this Rumble rant we got hanging out over on the Rokfin. Let me see if I can find my glasses.
Is it a Rumble rant or a super or a Rokfin?
I mean a Rokfin, a super ray.
Super ray.
Let's see if I can see it. Can I see it again? Read What is Property by Pierre Joseph Proudhon. Spoiler, private property upheld by the state violence is theft. Homelessness can be solved without raising taxes on anyone and everyone without increasing the deficit. In fact, this would save money simply in the enforcement of anti-trespass laws and vacant properties that have been unoccupied on the market for more than a year. Does it say more? And artificial sacredity be damned. Yeah, I agree, DC. You're 100%, and that's exactly how we would cure it and how
solve
we
the problem.
And we know it works, right?
Don't treat the issue. Solve the problem.
That's not what's going to happen when Vanguard gets over 60%. They're sitting at 40% of all single American homes right now. Wait till they're over the fucking tipping point. And then they have us under their thumb because we have no choice but to be at their mercy. It's going to be like the old company mill days. I live literally like 2 blocks away from an old sawmill up in the Pacific Northwest. And every home around here, the older homes, were built by this mill company. You came up here, you worked for them, you were owned by them. They gave you these mill shillings and you bought food at the mill store.
Company store,
Yeah, at the company store. This is exactly what they're setting us up for future-wise.
What do you got here? Social Security again?
Yeah, retirement crisis ahead. 175 trillion gap in the Social Security funding as Americans look towards their future. A sobering revelation from the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen casts long shadows over the prospects of secured retirement. According to the latest financial report released by the United States government, Social Security and Medicare face a staggering underfunding of $175 trillion. To put that into perspective, that's the amount of approximately $1.4 million per household, dwarfing the median household net worth in the United States, which stands at a mere fraction of these figures. But let's give more money to Ukraine and Israel. $175 trillion.
Trillion, not
Social
billion,
Security
trillion.
And Medicare. Those are our security nets when we get fucking old. We've been working our entire fucking lives to pay into that shit. And it's underfunded and
they've been robbing from it forever, and that's
Reagan started it, right?
They couldn't rob enough, so they're borrowing, and the national debt is what 34.7 trillion. So,
but the Democrats are out there pushing this bullshit lie that they're going to expand Medicaid and Medicare and Obamacare,
Well, they better do something because I don't know. I don't think pitchforks and torches are going to work anymore. So we're going to have to figure out something. And I don't know what that's going to be. Now, did you bring this Rachel Maddow crap?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I'm guilty.
I got to say, MSNBC getting rid of Rona.
This is old.
the RNC gal, they shot themselves really bad.
Oh God, yeah, they're getting freaking owned. I put it on my deck this week, and then I'm just so bored with it. I let Glenn Greenwald have his speak his mind on it, but I just don't even care to hear all these pundits weighing in on that.
No,
Just
they shouldn't, and they are not a credible news or opinion agency. And I gotta tell you, the bosses over at MSNBC, you're gutless. I'd be firing a bunch of these high-paid, overpaid bullshit artists right now. So let's watch this.
This is old, but it's funny. It's a funny takedown.
In this country still makes 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Oh, wait. No. Don't tell me the reasons why. Do women make less than men for doing the same work?
No, because...
Wow.
Okay. Well, for example, men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more flexible
professions. Listen, this is not a math is hard.
No. Yes, it is, actually.
No, it isn't. Women are making 77 cents on the dollar for what men are making.
But that's not true. If so,
let Rachel make her point.
Every greedy businessman in America would hire only women, save 25%, and be hugely profitable. And I love how passionate you are. I wish you were as right about what you're saying as you are passionate about it. I really do. For example...
women do get paid less than men. That's a fucking given. That everybody knows that. But Rachel blowing her mind over this, that guy just owned her.
Yeah, she's dog crap.
She's totally dog crap. But that was fun watching her get shut down. She don't get shut down too often. I don't remember what this is. I guess we'll just pull the trigger and find out.
What's up, guys? John here. In 2022, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Salesforce, and Goldman Sachs, they invested heavily, $100 million, into something called Block Power. Block Power has a goal to decarbonize all homes in America.
A startup called Block Power, whose goal is
your
to
home's
ultimately
going to get
electrify every
decarbonized.
building
That's
in
what
America.
Bezos then added an additional $5 million to the Bezos Earth Fund right here to digitally map out 125 million buildings, essentially the entire country, so that everyone can get a free plan on how they can become environmentally sustainable. Now, when I read that, I always thought, that sounds, he's doing something for everybody for free. There might be something there that we should all look into. And then says the company's now negotiating with several cities in California, New York, Massachusetts, and Georgia to do this, essentially allowing them to have a monopoly because they supply the solution to the problems in which they say these cities have. And so when you look at the direction that this was happening in 2022, you're like, let's follow this story. Well, now they're working on something called a rain tax.
A bill aimed at managing New Jersey's stormwater runoff is being dubbed
What?
a rain tax by some, giving local counties and municipalities the power to collect a tax from properties with large paved surfaces.
It's already law in Los Angeles. They're working on it right now in Portland, right here. Rain tax, Portland floating homeowners speak out over the proposed stormwater rates. So that every square inch of property you own, you would be taxed based on the amount of rain that hits it. This is not a joke. The same thing is happening in Philadelphia, right? 2 weeks ago, they're calling it a rain tax. Then you look at what they're saying here in Toronto. When you look at everything that's happening, you're going to see one thing very, very clearly, that we are in the greatest real estate rug pull in history. 40% of all single-family homes in America were purchased between 2021 and 2022, at the height of the market. And so what happened during that period? Cost of borrowed capital is very, very low, right? Insurance, taxes, relatively low compared to where they are now. Incomes, much higher. People had a lot more money. And now that money's kind of fading away with record high inflation, record high borrowing cost. People are in a harder spot today than they've been in a very, very, very long time. And so as they start to pull the rug from the real estate market, then they start to implement further taxes, further cost, insurance and taxes, everything's going up. What's going to happen? Well, people are going to walk into hardship. People are going to start walking away from their properties. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how this all ties together. The Inflation Reduction Act, what's happening it is absolutely shocking. If you're a renter, if you're a property owner, if you're an investor, pay very close attention to this because it's going to rewrite American real estate history.
Net zero for your home, but it's free from Bezos. That's what's coming. That's the
here's some irony. I think it's still illegal to collect rainwater in Washington and Oregon.
It is.
Jesus Christ!
Right. Yeah.
You brought this discovery.
Oh yeah. Shocking discovery. Huge carbon credit project in Australia turns out to be a sham. No way.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah. So a human-induced native forest regeneration carbon offset project has a limited impact on changes to the woody vegetation cover and carbon removal. And yeah, I have this article and it's so fucking funny because it literally everything they said was their plan. We're doing this, we're going to do that. None of it worked.
That's what Juice Media, that's what they were alluding to in Tasmania last week. They were talking about that. So yeah, that's, it's a sham. Yes, it's a sham.
Guess what? It's a sham.
And you brought this.
U.S. infrastructure is decades behind because we've spent those decades destroying other nations instead of investing in our own. End all colonialism. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, end it all. You brought a Sabby Says.
Sabby Says. Yeah, I don't think this one, did I bring a video with this one? I don't know, but let's see. Some of the people who made racist comments about at the Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott for not wearing a suit at 1:30 in the morning, but applaud John Fetterman for wearing a hoodie. When white people dress down, it's trendy. When black people dress down, it's ghetto. Yeah, I mean, I commented on this the other day on my show when I first saw him. But I wasn't commenting really about what he was wearing. Yeah, he was wearing like what would be like a high school Letterman's jacket or something.
Yeah.
I was making fun of how fucking young he was. That's what I was pointing out. I wasn't pointing out that, oh, he's not wearing a suit. You know?
Oh, yeah. No, I get it.
For sure.
I get it. And then you have activists out there that are getting, signature clothing done. So, yeah, you could start going after those who do that kind of shit. I found this interesting. I covered this like 2 years ago. And euthanasia pods are the logical conclusion for a culture of death. Exit International, the Australian-based international nonprofit organization that advocates the legalization of voluntary euthanasia, has completed a prototype for an S capsule, can't say that, machine that hopes to soon be available worldwide. I'm just wondering, would that go with the Seal Meal story that we have in Fashion Tonight or what?
Right.
Yeah, so there's hope, everybody. There'll be a nice, cool-looking capsule that you can go into, and I don't know what exactly it does, but I hope it doesn't
looks like it's going to shoot you to Mars, like you're going to go visit Musk or some shit.
Well, I got, this was Star Trek 1966. I can't remember the name of it, Time for Armageddon or something like that. And that's what they were doing. They were putting people into these booths and basically turning them into sawdust. So, yeah, that's what they're saying.
Well, it's better than being a battery like in Matrix, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I might like to be a battery. If they're going to feed me virtual steak, I might be okay with that. You brought
Would
this
you
one.
like... Okay, so this next one will blow your mind. Okay, so this is Dennis Bushnell of the NSA. A couple 100,000 people have brain chips. DARPA brain computer interfaces innovated a second intelligent species. Pull costs, gets rid of people, shrink the humans. Nanoparticles are bad. Yeah, okay, so there's two. There's Ray Kurzweil and there's Dennis Bushnell. If you want to know where we're going DARPA-wise and what the future of tech looks like, you have to listen to what these two guys are saying. Jason Burmis has always done a great job of breaking this transhumanist movement that's coming for all of us, where we integrate with the damn AI and the technology, and you just have nanoparticles rolling all over your body. You know, we saw Elon has successfully implanted the Neuralink this last couple of weeks. So I have a report. I think it's probably on my Beauty and the Boomer deck. I'm gonna have to look for it. Just about how many animals were tortured in the quest to get that Neuralink. I mean, drilling holes in monkeys' heads, filling it with glue. Like, I'm going to cover it on Monday. It's terrible. But yeah, let's hear what Dennis Bushnell of the of NASA has to say.
Humans are now becoming cyborgs. We have cochlear implants to hear, artificial retinas to see, artificial hearts to live, artificial limbs to move, artificial organs to functions, and brain chips. There's a couple 100,000 people wandering around with brain chips now. It affects congenitally defective brains, and increasingly it affects memory and other things. DARPA's working on brain chips for super soldiers. And people are now working, thanks to Musk and other people, funding direct machine-brain communications. It's not us versus them, us versus the machines. We're merging. And this is the human evolution of the humans. There is no more natural evolution of anything. People are convinced that the human evolution of everything is 10 million times faster than any natural evolution. And so this is just part of the human evolution of the humans, because this time we are inventing a second intelligent species. Okay? We never did that before. This is robotic design, robotic manufacture, robotic transfer, robotic ops. It's people that cost money. Okay? You want to pull cost out of anything, and that's why people are losing their jobs to the machines, okay? You get rid of people. And by the way, in aerospace, people are responsible for 80% of the safety problems, okay? If you want a safe system, no people. Everything's shrinking except the humans.
No people.
We got to figure out a way to shrink the humans, okay, to get the cost really down, but that's more difficult. 98% of all of the studies I've seen say that the nanoparticles are bad for human physiology, okay? Very few, you know, they're good for some medical processes, but overall, in terms of their overall physiology, no.
Oh my gosh. So I got more on nanoparticles on my deck for Monday, and your alter personalities. Can nanotech block the person that you are so you can live through an avatar of, say, I don't know, a totally different sex? Like, you could have multiple personalities with the nanotech in your brain, blocking those off, and you can live out other personalities. It's crazy. We're going to talk about it on Monday.
Black Mirror gone wild.
Holy Black
what do
Mirror.
you have here right before the Maui fire?
Oh, this is a good little conspiracy. So Mountain Dew, right before the Maui fire, came out with a Maui burst, and then right before the Francis Scott Key Bridge, they who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, they came out with a Star Spangled Splash. This is a pretty big coincidence, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a coinkydink. I should have worn my tinfoil hat. Damn it.
Yeah,
Damn
you
it. You should have
should've.
warned me, Chanda. What do you
I
got here? I
should've.
love the avatar, by the way. You put on the side the reface. That looks great.
I know. She's cute, isn't she?
Yeah, she
I don't
is.
remember what this is, but it's only a minute long.
So in 1872, Rockefeller bought up, shut down, or bankrupt 90% of the oil companies.
Oh, yeah.
Our good old
Oh, yeah.
Constitution
Big
came
pharma.
into place, and in 1911, the Supreme Court found Rockefeller in violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act and split Standard Oil into 34 independent companies. So they said, you
Which
can't
probably
have a
doesn't
monopoly
exist
on this,
anymore,
you're
right?
done. You think that changed who he was? No. He promised to bankrupt America. At that very same time, they were learning how to turn petrochemicals, exactly what he had at his fingertips with the oil, into pharmaceuticals. Now, John D. Rockefeller's biggest threat was natural health. So what does he do? Being the businessman he is, he donates money to the medical schools. Because he
Yeah.
wants to control.
Reefer
And what
madness.
do you do when you want to control someone? You give them money. And then he hired a guy by the name of Flexner to study the school's curriculum, to figure out what they were teaching everybody, and to persuade the government to establish allopathic medicine, which used the unnatural substances to treat diseases. This is how Western medicine was founded.
Yeah, there's some
There you
history
are.
for it. Yeah, I
It's
love it.
Rockefeller medicine at the end of the day every time you pop a pill.
Yeah, I'm sure you sprinkle that with a little Rothschilds
Oh,
and
I
mix it
did
up
put
with
that
AI.
on this deck. Yeah,
What?
yeah, little AI. I did put that thing about Elon on here. So exclusive inside Elon Musk's Neuralink lab with 1,500 animals have been killed and test monkeys were subjected to extreme suffering. Now, I have the article on this and it is freaking terrible. I want to read this. Starting on the right side, they burnt a hole 15 millimeters lateral, and then they filled it. They burnt the hole on both sides. They fill it with glue. They did this up to 10 fucking times on these monkeys to get, what is it, like 87 Neuralinks linked in there, wires,
I know.
electrodes.
I know.
It's
terrible. It's terrible. I worked with a guy who did cancer
You just
research.
got a really bad echo. I don't know what happened.
Worked with a guy that had cancer research back in the day, and he absolutely was his biggest problem he had was the number of animals they had to kill. You got your earplugs out, right?
I've got you coming through my ears like 3 times. You're cascading.
How about the chat? Am I coming through 3 times?
You're fine. I'm listening to the playback. You're fine on the playback. It's just in the studio that you're cascading.
Okay, I'm fine here. So you've got some instances open somewhere.
How could I have instances?
I have no idea.
It's the studio.
Yeah, you're 5x5. You're fine, Oz. Fine in chat, audio, and video.
No, I know
very
you're
clear.
fine in chat. It's in studio, and it's been for the whole show. The entire show, I've had a double echo with you, but it just got worse. It started cascading, and nothing's open. So it's got to be in the studio. It's
Okay.
like it's coming through the slide deck or something in the studio. It's like your mic is getting picked up twice in the studio.
Okay. I don't see anything bouncing, so I don't know what to do.
I see the master.
Nothing's bouncing.
No, there's stuff bouncing. I'm telling you. It's not in my fucking head. I'm not making it up. I have cascading Oz in my freaking ears. There's somewhere. It's bleeding through somewhere.
Okay, let me try this. That fix it?
No, but it did make it a little better, I think. So
okay,
let's just move on.
We're almost out of here. Getty Museum.
This is Alexa, and when you ask her about the bunkers under the Getty Museum, listen to what she has to say. Sometimes Alexa accidentally tells the truth.
Alexa, who is in control of the underground tunnels under the Getty Museum in California?
The Getty Museum does not have control over the underground tunnels beneath its premises in California. The tunnels, which run underneath the museum, are reportedly a part of a larger network that extends for several miles and includes bunkers and other facilities. However, the ownership and management of the tunnels are attributed to the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, and the National Security Agency, NSA, two U.S. intelligence agencies.
Alexa, is there really over 200,000 people underground the Getty Museum?
There is not over 200,000 people underground the Getty Museum. It has been stated in an Instagram post that there are 100,000 kids in cages under the Getty Art Museum.
What?
This statement is a viral image that has been circulating on social media. There is no evidence to support the claim that there are over 200,000 people underground the Getty Museum. If you have any further questions, I would recommend fact-checking websites or official statements from the Getty Museum to gather accurate information.
Alexa, but there is an underground network of tunnels under the Getty Museum, right?
Yes, there are tunnels beneath the Getty Museum, as affirmed by a former CIA contractor. These tunnels, according to rumors, were built as a bunker in the event of a nuclear attack. However, the Getty Museum has not made any statements about these tunnels, and the existence of them remains unverified.
Alexa, who built these tunnels under the Getty Museum?
The Getty Museum is a place in Los Angeles, California, USA. It is said to have a network of tunnels. Who built these tunnels is not specified in the provided context.
Okay.
She was totally talking around it, right? Like she's giving you little bits of information, like, well, the CIA says they're there, and the NSA and the CIA and the FBI, they control them, but they're not real. They're not.
Now, is that Lex Luthor's daughter? That Alexa? Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. You brought this.
He keeps her locked in a little box. The general population doesn't know what's happening, and it doesn't even know that it doesn't know. Well, I got to tell you, Chomsky, I don't think you know what's happening.
Yeah, I think he needs to just move along. He's retired.
I think we know more than you fucking know. So yeah.
Thanks for the memories there, Gnome. We really do.
And I had to, F you.
Is this the gal that was giving me shit about something a couple weeks ago? Same gal or no?
No, I don't think so. This is just some random viral TikTok. You know this chick?
Yeah, she looks familiar. She reminds me of that gal that was. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, this is how to know if your chicken's a federal agent. I just thought it was funny. I read it over on my show this week, but I wanted to bring it for B&B.
Tired of coming home after a long day of committing tax fraud just to feel like you're being watched in your own house? You're not imagining it. Here are my top 3 tips to find out whether or not your chicken is a fed. Number 1, check around the coop. What you want to be finding here is eggs and chicken shit. If instead you're finding MK Ultra documents, that is not a good sign. Stay vigilant. Number 2, when listening to your bird, if instead of clucking, they're relaying numbers in a seemingly random order, that is not a chicken, that is a government-funded number station. Again, not what you want. Last but not least, number 3, look for a response. When within earshot of your chicken, casually say something like, I think Ted Kaczynski did nothing wrong. If your bird remains silent, they have begun recording your conversation and are uploading your coordinates. That is a fed, and if you do not act immediately, the news is going to say that you drowned while swimming. I hope this has been helpful. Good luck, Godspeed, and trust no chicken.
So
I just thought that was scary.
So what do? Sell LSD at the corner markets and over there, or what? That's
The fed chickens? I don't know.
The
they regret
chickens.
nothing, though. I can.
Meme Alley time.
Meme Alley.
We got a lot of Meme Alley in tonight, so here we go. I'm going to let you read them, and I'm going to take us down so you can read them.
It says, all I'm saying, Camilla, is that the I in Apex stood for Italian. They be calling it a mafia organization, and a bunch of Italians in Congress spending billions of dollars to Italy for military aid. We couldn't get away with that shit. Exactly. Them, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Me. Yeah, totally.
I added this today, and this was Russell over there at Due Distance brought that. Boeing in-flight repairman. Well, they have in-flight cocktail service and in-flight dining and everything else, but that's the Boeing in-flight repairman.
I like Russell's sense of humor. He's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, he's pretty dry. I appreciate his sense of humor. We've got, you brought this chicken drumsticks. Is that true?
Chicken drumsticks, but contains only back legs.
So they have extra legs that we're not aware of?
I don't know. Apparently back legs only. So
yeah,
we're not going to make it as people, are we?
There's Weekend at Radio City with the war criminals.
Oh, yeah,
there.
that
Weekend
was really
Weekend
fun.
at Radio City. So
that was
there
a
we go.
blast.
Now you brought this. This is signs here, right?
How long can they hold a grudge? Let's see. Aries 24 hours, Taurus until they die. Maybe not even then. Gemini, give it about 30 seconds. Yeah,
You're so cool.
I'm quick to forgive for sure. Cancer, years. Leo, until the end of time. That is so true. Virgo, a couple of months. Libra, 0.2 seconds unless they're really hacked up. Yeah, a couple of months. Is that? Yeah, I think you do that, right? Scorpio, all eternity. Sagittarius, 2 days. Capricorn, don't even bother apologizing. Aquarius, a year. And Pisces, 2 months, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
I do agree. Real life, truth seekers, power behind the media, and most people. We're the truth seekers. We're almost out of the pit. So.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're close. We're close.
I think we're close.
It is a Remember When time. I've got some great Remember Whens for next week, too, by the way. And remember when?
I remember. This is how we spent our time when we were kids. Oh,
That's
I loved
me.
Playing Tonkas in the dirt with my brothers. I had 2 little brothers, and we would just go out there and make mud piles and tracks, and, yeah, we had a blast. And let's see, 70s starter kit includes muscle car, 8-track, air shocks, big hair, mustache, ripped jeans, cheap gas, great music, and no internet.
Hell yeah, the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Let's see, April 8th, 2024, Eclipse total run time is 4 minutes, 27 seconds. The total eclipse of the heart radio cut runtime 4 minutes 30 seconds. You know what you need to do.
You brought this earlier this week. I think you brought it Thursday on your show. I brought it today, except I added the advertiser for that, and that's Seal-A-Meal, great vacuum sealer, under $50. So that's
why? Why did you do this stupid
Why
shit?
in the hell would they do this? Why?
I love the people that are in the audience. Did they pay tickets to go see this shit? That's what I want to know. Because if so, were they friends with Hunter Biden? Because I think it might be money laundering.
I don't know. I don't know. That's what they call modern art, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's not modern art, because modern art was only from like 1920 to 1990. So it would be technically contemporary art, but this isn't even considered contemporary art, because this is performance art. So I don't know why I just pulled a bunch of art knowledge out of my head. But
Jack says, why would anyone do this? I don't know why the hell they do this. Why would they do this?
I want to be a human Seal-A-Meal bag, right? Yeah. I had to add this last minute. Wet pants denim, get them,
Yeah,
that
that's
way,
like,
if you have accidents, you can just play it off like it's just normal. It's
we
just
need
fashion.
assless chaps, or I like those for a minute. So I helped you out with Stoner Corner. I hope there's not too many repeats in here.
Let's see. No, I'm glad you did. Let's see. I set my standards high. Actually, I do a lot of things high. When people ask why I smoke weed, me, you, yeah, Twitter's next board meeting is going to be lit. Okay, whatever. That poser? No. Let's see. And what is the bottom one? No matter the age, no matter the years, something you never get old. Smoke weed till you die. Yeah, for sure. I will smoke weed till I die.
Here. I'm running out of book covers, Chanda, so I could use some more help. But
I'll send you some more.
I did bring one of yours, and I brought one of Reef over at INN Media. So what we have here is, the bullshit you'll hear when elections draw near with Anderson Cooper and Rachel Maddow. And then I'll open this umbrella in your musty butthole, a colonoscopy story starring Lindsey Graham.
Guide to Googly Gook by Dr. Seuss.
I don't know.
I love it.
I couldn't help it, but I try. I really do try. And then we have our favorite part.
I threw a few things in here. I'm not no video. You don't have to play the video on the next one, but yeah. So Lizzo quit. Shocked announcement as she quits the music industry.
Oh yeah, Lizzo. Yes.
Yeah, so the night after the Radio City Music Hall thing where she introduced the two presidents, the Lizzo comments came a day after a lawyer who represented 3 former dancers who filed a lawsuit against her in August said it was shameful the singer headlined a Radio City fundraiser for President Joe Biden. And yeah, she's got some SA type or not, some lewd lawsuit against her by some of her backup dancers. And she's just lewd. I mean, if you don't know who Lizzo is, that picture right there where she's sprawled out on the stage, that's Lizzo. And she actually has more clothes on in that shot than I've seen in a long fucking time. So, I mean, she says that she was internet bullied and that's why she's going, but whatever. She's not a good role model for kids. And while everyone is exposing celebrities, I think it's time we have a conversation. Yeah. Who's hanging out with all of these diddlers? Yeah, it's Oprah.
I added this one last minute.
Diddy hired as new president in Nickelodeon studio. Did you see my video where the Nickelodeon logo is shaped exactly like Epstein Island?
I know.
Oh my gosh. There's so much too. You guys, I have to do a special on the Diddy stuff because there's so freaking much. He might come out of this with murder charges. I mean, that's ultimately the goal. But
am I playing this?
No, you don't. No, don't play it. But I'll tell you about it. Okay, so the Obama Diddy thing, we talked about it on my show the other day. A young Obama, kind of nervous, and like Diddy was the power in that room, not Obama. But remember that time that John Mayer and Christy whatever, the orc chick, they were on the carpet and they asked him where the best place they ever had sex was, and she giggles and says it was that Obama thing. Well, the stuff we're finding out about the whole Diddy circle, it puts a lot more merit to that little conversation there. Like, were they all getting their freak on together? I mean, that's what we're hearing. I mean, we've been saying it about Hollywood all of these years, these freak parties. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised at all either. So a lot of old clips are coming to light now. And what is this? Let's see. Anthony Bourdain had one of the only shows on TV that tied with all of its might to teach Americans not to be scared of other people. He did. Remember that one when he went to Myanmar? It was fucking gorgeous. I miss Anthony Bourdain. Hex that witch who killed him. Anyways, wait until the people who just want to be left alone get involved. I watched an old Stallone movie, or new Stallone movie. Oh my God, he's doing movies. There's one over on Netflix. It's like, I don't know if it's a new release, but it's definitely the last year. Like, holy crap.
And the last, is this the last? This is the last one.
I think this is the last. Well, no, I got an Easter.
You got an Easter one. This one right
there.
Here. This one right here. What was the best one-hit wonder you ever heard, in your opinion, Shannon? It's got to be a one-hit wonder.
Voices Carry, 1984. I love
and
that
who was the artist? I don't remember.
Oh, God.
I do. It just slipped my mind, but that's a great one. Voices Carry.
That was a one hit. Yeah,
downtown. Even now, voices carry. One hit wonder. Till Tuesday.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Till Tuesday.
Till Tuesday. That's right. You're right.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you,
Thank
Jax.
you.
Thanks, Bad Cookies.
Yeah.
Till
no,
Tuesday.
I think that's one of my favorite one-hit wonders.
You know, I was a toss-up for me, and that one, I think I'm going to put this in with this, but I did like Aha. Take on
I like
Me.
Natalie Imbruglia's Torn.
I did too. That was really good. But if I gotta pick one out of all the one-hit wonders, and I know it's been played way too much, I still love it, and it's the Verb Bittersweet Symphony.
Me too. That's in my one-hit wonders list. Oh my God, that takes me back to bartending days. God, that was always playing on.
Yeah, the imagery and the words in that just nail it. So 100%. You brought the Easter one here.
Happy Easter. Tomorrow is Easter if you are celebrating. I'm not celebrating because, it's the last day of the month and who's got money to eat, let alone make an Easter dinner. But happy Easter. I had to bring the Darny Darko bunny because I like him. And fuck around and find out. And you look like a whore. And check out the dye job on her.
Yeah, I thought you might put in that one I sent you today with the alien coming out of the egg and clamping on the Easter bunny.
That one was funny too.
Yeah,
that one was.
It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
I like the morbid Easter wishes.
What's your schedule this week?
Okay, so I'm definitely doing a show Monday. I'm already halfway done writing it, but I'm hoping that I get Hunter, my granddaughter, for spring break, and then I think I'm going to get my grandson Jake towards the end of the break. And I haven't got to see them since Christmas, so I might end up taking Wednesday off if I actually have them. If not, I'll be on regular schedule. So I might be going on a little spring breaky to spend with the grandkids.
All right. No, that's great. That's great. And so next week, Beauty and the Boomer. And I'm just going to play just a few seconds of this, just so you can see the movement.
I love that. I used to have a dress that same color, look just like that.
Well, I've got a tie, so I've got the tie.
I don't have it anymore. I wish I still had that dress, but it was like a size 6. I never fit it.
Next week, Beauty and the Boomer, and you will hear the whole thing, the whole thumbnail song. I think this cover is great too, by the way. Very hard to find this cover. I mean, I ran across it by accident, but they did a very good job. I think you guys might enjoy it. Like I said, next week we're going to go out with some classic Toto, but tonight we're going to go out with some Fleetwood Mac, and I think these ladies do a fantastic job. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. It's always a pleasure with our friends and family here. So what do you got here? What you want to say goodbye, everybody, Chanda? Or
we have. I will get my studio worked out, so please join me Monday morning. And check out all the new bells and whistles. Of course, I got sound effects and stuff, so I'm having fun in the new studio, and I appreciate all your help with it, Oz, and making Beauty and the Boomer look as gorgeous. And thank you for the new intro. Did you guys see the new intro? If you missed it, back it up and watch the the OK Boomer girl. She's got company dancing now, and I love it.
And we've got new stuff coming up. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to meet with Arim and Linda on Tuesday, and boy, we got a big week because we got a lot of new stuff hanging out. So anyway, we're going to go out. I hope you guys enjoy this Fleetwood Mac as much as I do. This is Hindley Street Country Club. Once again, they're my go-to group. These people are the best. Have a great night, everybody. We love you. Bye.
Turn the page, then I would rearrange just a day or two. sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. If I could turn the page, then I would rearrange this tale. I couldn't find a way, so I set off one day to tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. Tell me Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should believe the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of the loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. And the stillness of remembering of what you had and what you lost and what you had. Ooh, what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's ready, and players only love you when they're playing. You say